Good evening, welcome to WooTube. My name's Baran Woo, and we're back to the face on camera today. Can't be bothered to set the other one up. It feels a bit weird now going back to this one. I'm not going to lie. So I hope that's not too off-putting for people. Just staring straight into your soul. How you doing? Hello, Zero Maxima. I'm going to grease you up good tonight. Well, that's a plan anyway. We'll get to that in a second. Firstly, on the weekend, it was Northern Regionals up in Sheffield. Had a wonderful day. Really lots of fun. Big old drive up there, but very much worth it. It was run by MCG, who did a fantastic job of running it. I think it was about 47 people, something like that. It'll probably say here somewhere. Oh, 41. Okay. Oh, no, but 4 people dropped. Yeah, so 45. 45 people. 5 rounds of double-sided Swiss. Quite sort of mixture of, although, like, no Anarch. Like, just no Anarch. I should have Kikai's, like, surveyor breakdown in front of me to show this, but there was no Anarch, and the Anarch that was there did terribly, or didn't make the cut anyway. Which Kikai pointed out is like that just hasn't happened for a long time, a very long time. Anarcho slow poke, I'm afraid. Also on the weekend, Anarcho ran Italian Nats, which I was gutted I couldn't come to because Italian Nationals was the first national championship I ever went to. First time I sort of travelled far for Netrunner. Certainly, first time I ever got on a plane to go and play Netrunner, and I had a marvelous time. Drank a lot of Guinness and played a ton of games of CTM versus Wiz on. Did I say Italian? Did I say Italian? Oh man, it's late on a Monday night. That's pretty bad. Irish Nats. Let's go again, shall we? Anarcho ran Irish Nats on the weekend, and it was Irish Nats was the first Nats which I went to. Basically, just take everything that I just said about Italian Nats, which I've actually never been to, and exchange it for Ireland. But yeah, and we played a ton of whiz into CTM, like 2000 and something decks on Sunday. It was actually a ton of fun. But this weekend, I should probably pull up Irish Nats. Narco, was it on Cobra or did you probably ran? Are you a single-sided stan? I don't know. Aesop's cool. Let's put it up on Aesop's. Um, I can probably find it here. I know, I know the winner. Yeah, SSS. Very fair. Augustus was there, so Augustus won. Um, as Augustus has a tendency to do currently. Certainly anywhere European. Pretty solid score going in there. Uh, 2 wins and a draw and 3 wins with Lat. Um, Snoobs, which is Sid or Top Cut Sid, as I'm just gonna start calling him, also doing very well. Oh, and Alex travelled over as well. Shout out Alex. Um, but yeah, uh, I know Augustus was playing. Aggie has topped soccer on the bean board. Oh my word. I haven't looked at beans for a while. Netrunner beans. Uh, okay. Netrunner beans in Coda. Is it this? It's this. Here we go. Is soccer like registered here though? Oh, he is. Oh, look at that. Oh, by quite a lot as well. By 300. I mean, yeah, it was right there, right in front of me. Uh, Obviously, the one thing I fully understand. I feel a bit, I do feel a bit sorry for Cody because I know he put a ton of work into this site, and it's a really cool idea, and it's a really good way of potentially like suggesting that people play out their games and continue to play for beans even when they're like not necessarily going to make the top cut. And it makes sense that it's opt in as opposed to opt out. Um, I understand why, but I think it's a shame that there is no longer like the spaces where people should be. But I understand why that isn't there. Good evening, Weeble. How are you doing today? But yeah, Augustus. I mean, this is the like finals that we want to see at Worlds, right? Actually, is Aggie going to Worlds? I can't remember. Uh, Augustus even has 700 beans that don't count to his total. What? Because of like regionals, or like I know you can only get a certain number of beans from regionals and things along those lines. So I guess it's maybe that like you only get beans for your top regional or something. Um, but yeah, this is like I mean the like Augustus Augustus Tuno kind of clash is a classic, but I don't know if we've seen the Augustus soccer match happen, right? I don't know if they've played like not in a high stakes, certainly not in like a live territory. Beanstalk is very cool, but also some of the distributions are a bit whack. I think it would be like absolute fair play to Cody because I don't know how you come up with a way of distributing stuff like correctly. A certain Finnish player got 100 plus beans from a 12-person Nats. Okay, that does seem like a lot. I don't know what it, how much you're meant to get. Um, but yeah, you know, he does seem to be like ruling the roost. When do these like turn out? Are these permanent or this is a year? Like this, it does like this is for the year, and then you can find out your totals. I think I need to like look into this a bit more. So this is where he got his most beans from. Oh, that's cool. You can actually see that. So EMEA, obviously German Nats, Swedish Nats, Irish Nats, uh, the Continentals, Italian Nats, Internationals, Summer Showdown. Yeah, I got weaves for that. I don't think I've actually registered my decks yet. Right, got very distracted there. Stuff's going like a bit weird today. But this is what we were going to be talking about Sheffield. Well, we're kind of like a bit of everything. Um, the thing that's actually freakish about Augustus is that yeah, I know he's like technically a new player, right? Like, I mean, he's certainly not an old hat. He uh he picked up the game, and I mean, this is someone who like bombed out in Worlds last year. Like literally, I mean, I'm sure he won't mind me pointing this out if you don't know, but he just like was flying. It was a downward spiral for him at Worlds last year, certainly on day one. Um, he's not infallible, but then he came back from Worlds, started playing Ag Infusion, and just started dominating. And it's not just with Ag Infusion, obviously. We've seen him do incredibly well with a lot of other things, including NBN. But yeah, he has not been playing long, and is currently like on a warpath. Right. Sheffield Nats, Northern Nats was a lot of fun. I was playing Arissana, um, essentially the same, very close to the same list that I was playing at World Showdown. I took out the Monkey Wrench, not because I think it's incorrect, but just because I'm like playing around with that flex slot. I put in a Lucky Charm, which was actually like really sick. Um, like it's very good in deep dive decks. It's very good. It like shores up the one weakness, which is that I can't deal with skunk voids over and over again, and I don't have pinholes. So having like a single Lucky Charm was actually pretty sick and allowed me to contest a PD server, which was like border control into MIC into void and still get in, which felt very good. Rotom turned up and obviously won the sodding thing. Guy got a buy turn one just because if anyone needed a buy turn one, it's Rotom Appliance. But massive shout out to my boy Source, coming in number 2, taking it all the way to the finals, playing Asmari and Lat. Really like excellent work, Source. Also, Utai making the cut, Yutati, which is Neil. So shout out there. And Cursor, who's maybe the uh, slightly under the radar member of EA Sports, coming in third. And I need to quickly talk about my game with Cursor because it was round 3. I'd just gone a corpse split against Rosie, round 1. We played like a fairly long game of I was playing Ag Infusion into her Essa, and then a very, very, very short game of my Arissana into Asmari, which I could have won if I had trashed the sudden commandment, which was on the top of R&D on my last turn before I died. Because I could have actually gone back. I stole 6 points that turn, 3 from the remote, 3 off R&D, didn't trash the sudden commandment, and if I had trashed the sudden commandment, we had a little look, I had 1 click left, could have gone back and stolen another re-education and won. But I didn't, and I died to punitive. I knew I was dying to punitive, but equally, there was a double advance card in the server on a Dripstag grid, and if I didn't run it and kill it, then I died either way. So that happened round 1. Round 2, I'm paired against Andy, 60-10. We drove all the way from Bristol to Sheffield to play each other. Andy then went on to play Nick in round 5, who drove all the way from Bristol to Sheffield to play someone. Like, basically, Andy played like every Bristol player. But I played against Andy round 2, and he was playing 419, and I literally teched my Ag Infusion against 419 because I was salty about getting like rolled on by Cody last weekend on his 419 deck. So I was like, I'm gonna play like the most anti 419 deck I can. It had 2 copies of Hammer in it. They were very, very good. Um and what else he was playing Prav. And his Prav deck is cool, but we have played that matchup a lot of times, and I think neither of us was in any doubt about which way it was going to go. All of his ice is very mean ice, which does stuff until you stick a hush on it, or you Fasalan past it, or like basically like his ice does nothing against Arissana, and yeah, yeah, Hammer and Ag is pretty spicy. I had 2 of them in there. So we kind of knew which way that one was going. Although Andy did score out a like turn 2, I think, or maybe 3, but I think turn 2 Crypto Crash, which was like pretty mean. And then round 3, I play against Cursor. Now, our first game is me playing Ag Infusion against Cursor playing Kit. Not just Kit, but Cataloger Kit, which for my deck, for my version of the Ag Infusion, literally the worst thing. You can't spell Depraved without Prav. That is absolutely correct, Wentagon. Yeah, Cataloger Kit, it doesn't rely on like successful runs. Like, I mean, you can boop them, but they just run back. Unless you find a Vampira Nasa early, then none of your ice is very particularly taxing. And more than that, your sentries actually become like problematic. Your sentries become a problem for you, especially if they're on R&D, because every time they run, they can charge their cataloger, so they have constant, never-ending cataloger. So it was going bad from the start. I nearly win off like an early push. I'm playing Sisyphus Ag because I'm evil, and I pushed a Sisyphus like double advanced, I think, or advanced and on a grid on a Locosta behind 1 piece of ice and a Sisentan. I think probably a Tatu Bola. Cursor has a Lobosome down. He pinholes the card. He sees it as a Sisyphus. He knows that he has to go and get it. Otherwise, the game's going to get really, really bad for him. So he runs a remote, hits the Tattoo, uses up his kit ability, then hits the second ice. I res it. It's a Sisentan. I call event. Or he, first of all, I think he looks at his hand for quite a long time. I call event, and then we start to do the things. It turns out that his hand was 4 events and a DJ Fenris. And if you know how Sisentan works, basically, if I hit the DJ Fenris with the Sisentan damage, instead of the subroutine net damage, so it's a 2 in 5 chance. I think the mass changes as you go through, but then I win at that point because it will just flatline him, and I don't win at that point. And then he's stolen the Sisyphus, and then he gets his Orca online, and then the game's over. And I probably should have just conceded at that point because it wasn't going well. But more importantly, the second game, I steal a couple of. He's playing sports. He's playing this sports list. I'm not going to pull this sports list up yet, actually, because I need to talk about what I thought about the sports list first. So he's playing this sports list, which is apparently the list that he's been playing at all the events. He has posted it before, and I clearly haven't seen it or read it. So I steal like 2 points early. I think maybe an Elvigar and a Hyperloop. No, I steal I steal a Megapre and a Hyperloop, right? They score out a Vitruvius and jam another card in the server. I get in and steal a second Vitruvius. I think time is called, and I have made my run. It's probably a trick shot, something like that. I steal a Vitruvius. I trash the server. Cursor is on 5 credits and 2 points. He scored 1 Vitruvius. I'm on 4 points. And at this point, I know that I have a Muse on the top of my deck, because I'm playing prognostic, so I can, and I haven't used prognostic yet, so I can I can pull any kind of card that I want from my deck if I need to. And I think about it for a long time because I'm like, right, well, probably my best play right now is to pull a compilation from my deck. Like I'm going to run HQ. I don't know what the face down ice is, but I think it's probably a drafter. I've got an Eco installed. I can get in. I can run HQ. I can pull the Muse with the like I can get a Muse off Q loop with a compilation, run the hand in case there's Audacity in there. And then I can either steal an agenda or I can like cup an Audacity, because that's what I'm scared about at this point. He's got 5 credits, so he doesn't have enough to biotic out. And I know he's on Hollow Man, but he won't have enough money to Hollow Man out. I think even with like he won't have enough money or clicks, like it wouldn't work. And then time's called, so we can take our time, and at this point, or take time to think at least. And I think that's what ruined me here, because I start overthinking this, and I start going, if I run and steal an agenda, I will give Cursor 2 credits, and then he'll have enough money to biotic out. Who's worked out the problem with my thought process here? You seeing it? Because I didn't see it at the time. Cursor knows what's wrong with what I'm saying, because I'm saying all of this out loud. I overshare a lot when I'm playing, especially when it's like at this sort of point. So I decide that rather than either going and getting a compilation, stealing something from a bin and sweeping the hand for agendas, or getting a compilation, running the hand and trying to like host any fast advanced tools that are in there, I start to think about his deck, and I'm like, well, I've seen a Hollow Man, I've seen a Virus, he's probably on 2 Hollow Man. That's way too much influence. He can't be on Audacity as well, so I don't think there's any way that he can fast advance out. So the best thing I can do is to do nothing. Thus, I win because I'm on 4 points. He's on 2 points. Now, if you hadn't already noticed this, my reason for not running is that if I hit another agenda, I give him 2 points. I give him 2 credits and he can biotic out. If I hit another agenda, I'm 3 points ahead of him and there's no way that he can fast advance out for the win. And by doing nothing, I make the only play which is guaranteed to definitely not be a good thing. He had an Audacity in hand and he scores a Mega Pre from hand and we draw. And I did it all by talking myself. Like, this wasn't just like, oh, I made a bit of a mistake. This was me completely forgetting how maths works and how scoring works. Really, really dumb. And here's his list, and it has an Audacity in it. So, yeah, great. Well done. Good work. Absolutely beefed that. But there we go. So that was frustrating. And then I managed to draw 2 more games. I got 3 draws in this thing. It turns out that Sisyphus Ag goes to time quite a bit. Or like the games are long. And I just kept managing to like get to the same, or my opponent got to the same points as me, and like it was time. And the one thing Sisyphus Ag doesn't do very well is like score out really fast. So yeah. Apart from the massive mistake blunder that I made into Cursor, I had a really good time. It was a good time. But yeah, I was playing a very slow deck. Maybe I should have played a quicker deck, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to play a quick deck, and it's a deck. I might play both of these versions because they both have slightly different kind of things. But it's something which I've been really enjoying. And I kind of came back around to it after the stream I did with Lucy talking about startup. I just need to quickly ban a robot. Excuse me a second. How did I work out how to do this last time? It was like, how did I do this last time? Oh, I thought I could just click on it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Wait, can you see this? I probably need to move my face. Yeah, yeah, like there. There we go. So, um, I came round to this deck in standard after playing the after doing the um startup stream, which I did with Lucy, and oh hello, and that got me thinking about the king making deck which I was playing in startup at the time, um, and it made me think about the nonsense that we could do with sudden commandment plus greasing the palm. Because once you're at threat, sudden commandment plus greasing the palm is basically a biotic. It's actually cheaper than a biotic. Yeah. Yes, because the sudden commandment into greasing the palm. Okay, it's 1 credit cheaper than a biotic, so not by much. Um, But importantly, if they happen to have a tag, then it's kind of nutty because then we can start fast advancing out 4/2s. And with a combination of things like Hollow Man, we can also fast advance out 4/2s. And it gets even more bonkers if we've got things like Shipment from Vladisibirsk, or they've got tags and we can get like free freedom of informations. Although there is actually, I did realize that there is a bit of a nombo between greasing the palm and freedom of information, because if you install the freedom of information with the greasing the palm and remove a tag to put a counter on it, then that makes the freedom of information harder to score. Unless they've got like 1 million tags. Like obviously if they're on like 8 or 9 tags, then you wouldn't do it anyway. Why would you do it anyway? Because it would then be 0. So there is some like nombo here, but the rest of it kind of makes sense. So the plan here, or the best plan here, is that we somehow early doors score out a remastered edition, which allows us to do some really bonkers things, including like fast advancing big beals for 3 points in the like late game, which is a really good way of closing out, or fast advancing out more remastered editions, or potentially scoring like a tomorrow's headline with a tag and then um, using like a hollow man and then doing more like doing some nonsense stuff. Weeble played something very like this today. Oh, nice! Like as like playing the deck or against something. You were playing against it, I guess, because you cleared a lot of tags. So I'm guess, or you cleared a lot of tags because you greasing the palmed them away. This could mean either way. Um, but yeah, so our agenda suite is like Beals, which are really good to fast advance. They can also get a survive against it, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Remastered edition, as I said, is like bonkers. Tomorrow's headline, which is really bonkers here because we can fast advance it. It gives a tag. If we like put it down with a Hollow Man, we can do like nonsense stuff. Oracle think tanks, which are like the best free one as a like I don't really want to score this, but it gives us good chances to hit the runner with an Oppo research and freedom of information. Now, I have a 44 card version, which is a bit more consistent to get into the like sudden commandment grease in the palm combo, but is harder to score out the remastered editions. And then this 49 card version, which also includes Amaze Amusements, which makes it a little bit easier or a little bit scarier for the runner to go and steal the remastered edition that you're trying to score in the remote. I think we start with this 49 card version. Other than that, assets, retrievers, and spin doctors, nothing too surprising there. And then the ice suite, I really like here in particular. It runs very low to the ground. We're running free ping, very good. Like, and 1 tag means a lot here, so that's great. We're running 2 VSAs, which possibly should be 3 VSAs. There's a lot of turtle round at the moment. There's a lot of Bankar. 3 unsmiling Serevna, so this could swap to 2 unsmiling 3 VSAs and may well do. But this is a really good card to like use the ability, and then we get to draw cards, which is really good for us, or give a tag, which is really good for us. Because we're just kind of trying to go fast. And quite often when we give a tag, we're going to be drawing cards. And then Tattoo Bowler, which just kind of feels really, really nice here for two reasons. A, obviously it's like it's a cheap end run. We can jam like Rashidas and stuff behind it early game. It gives us money back, which is great. If we find both of them, then we can like make money from the corp running. But most importantly, it turns itself back upside down. Um, so I realized that the scariest ice in an R plus deck is the face down ice. Like the ice where you don't know whether it's a ping that you're about to hit or a VSA or an unsmiling Serevna. Like that's the scary ice. Once R plus reses its ice, a lot less scary, right? You know exactly what it is. So the tattoo bowlers, like they're not scary when you face check into them because they're just an end of run. But once you go past them and they flip back upside down and it could be anything, then they're scary again. So I really, really like this as a like it just works nicely in R plus. Obviously, like all of our ice is incredibly cheap to get through, but this is just kind of very cheap. It's gear check ice, interestingly, even though you get through like most of it, but if you don't get down an actual like code gate breaker, you can't just keep giving us the value of running through a VSA for tags. And then operations, YDL is like a ton of money. Quite often, and it's kind of one of the only good money cards that we're playing. Greasing the Palm is obviously money, and is part of our win con. We're playing three Southern Commandments. That's the combo with Greasing the Palm, but also just good to like draw into stuff that we want to do. So like Southern Commandment into Predictive is absolutely fine. Predictive is brilliant single tag punishment. Drawing free cards and gaining free credits is like the perfect thing that this deck wants to do. And then one shipment from Vlad if they do end up like floating multiple tags. And Oppo researchers, because obviously we're playing a ton of agendas. They're going to steal a lot of agendas. They're going to trash a lot of stuff. We can just land like we're not necessarily looking to land big Oppos. We just like land lots of little Oppos and keep forcing them to like we jam something else in the remote, play a card, play an Oppo, force them to go and check it again. And then our upgrades, we're playing Tomb of Virus because Clot is a thing and it kind of helps us against um, a few other cards at the moment. Like I said, a maze is like a pretty good way of like scoring stuff out in the remote because our ice certainly ain't keeping them out. And then two copies of Hollow Man, which is a really good never advanced tool for the remastered editions, and obviously is a fast advanced tool in the late game, and can combo with the other things that we're doing to allow us to fast advance even anything up to like 4-2s or big beals. And that's it. Um, we're kind of planning to just go like it does plan to go like pretty fast. Yeah, Little Oppo, like this is the thing. The whole deck can play very low to the ground because like all of our ice we kind of res for free essentially. In fact, speaking of which, I am gonna change it. If we run into like a lot of kits, I'll be upset. But we're gonna change this to free virtual service agents. Could even be authenticator, you know. Like maybe we play. I'm gonna play a one copy of authenticator. Like it's actually the kind of ice that we want here. Yeah, like our entire deck works off like 2 credits unless we're doing like the combo, and even then it's like it scores out fairly cheap, especially if they happen to float tags or just one tag. And most people will clear like down to one tag and sometimes just like hold on to they're like, ah, oh, what's the worst you can do with one tag? And then you like fast advance out of Tremora's headline and it's very funny. Kakan's Glab, yeah, you'll enjoy the authenticator slot. I'll say that I put that in there just for you. WooTube. There we go. Let's zoom in a tiny bit. How's JNet running today? Is it like a happy little bunny? Good evening to you as well. I need a quick drink of water, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of authenticated before. I think it's like I wouldn't want to play more than one, but it does seem pretty good here, especially as we're playing freedom of information. Like taking a lot of tags is definitely not an option. How was everyone else's weekends? Obviously, some people were busy at various tournaments. I think other tournaments happened as well, right? I've seen lots of people posting deck lists, so I know there were some COs and things like that which went on. Uh, this is Solomon's deck. 10 years of net runner for self defense. Oh, I played. Did I play against this exact deck? Yes, maybe at Summer Showdown. Uh, which I loved it. Like they played Joyride turn one or something, and I was like invested already. And then they could talk a breakout something, and there was a Manuel that came down off a hot pursuit. Like this is a cool deck. Um, yeah, I liked this one. Like I'm interested. Like obviously you just have to trash the Manuels, right? But I guess you're kind of trying to put the pressure on them that they can't. Cactus Clan, great weekend. Walked 40K and saw the Wim Wenders film Perfect Days. Interesting. I don't know if that rings a bell. Is that a new? Oh, look, there's a lot of games, but no one wants to play. I hope that this Perfect Days Wim. Oh, there we go. Wim Wenders. Interesting. I don't know if I've heard about this. Was it good? Is it what? Is it like? I would you recommend it? Is a thing. And can I watch it without having to go to the cinema? Because going to the cinema is really hard. Currently, although we have a really nice cinema. If we ever get a chance, then we can go to a really nice cinema. We've got an everyman cinema. Has anyone else got an everyman cinema near them where you don't sit in a chair, you sit in a sofa, or like if you do sit in a chair, it's like an armchair, and you have like it's like I was gonna say the sofa that I'm sitting on now, but you can't actually see it. Um, but it's like super comfortable. You've got a little table. You can drink a beer or a glass of wine. They actually do like reasonable food. It's pretty hype, and it's like slightly more expensive than a normal cinema, which is absolutely fine because the experience is much better. But more importantly, that means that none of the kids go there because like they don't want to pay the extra £2 because they're just interested in the film. So you don't have like a ton of kids, like 14-year-olds sitting in a cinema ruining the film for you. Yeah, Everyman Cinemas, I recommend. Good evening, Peter. Um, Good to see you on stream. I don't know if I recognize your name, but correct me if I am wrong there. Arissana again. Today we're actually going to play some R plus. I did do Arissana on the weekend though. I played a very similar list to the list I played at World's Showdown, but with a Lucky Charm in it, which was good. I liked it. I liked the Lucky Charm. Funny story, the Lucky Charm went in because I was going through my card collection to get a poison vial to put in because I was going to test out poison vial as the like 2 influence slot, which was Monkey Wrench, and um and I pulled out Lucky Charm thinking it was poison vial, and then went, oh, that would actually be all right. Axu, I wonder what you're saying today. Hope Dark Order gets more screen time in the future. Hope Dark Order. What am I missing there, Axu? I'm missing the reference. As much as I maybe shouldn't even ask you. Um, Offline watcher. Well, welcome to online. Welcome to online watching, Peter. Good to have you join. Would you recommend my Ari as a Crown of Servers deck? To you, Cold Lava, 100%. Um, However, what I will say uh, is we have someone called Oppo, who I've played several times now. But I still feel like it's a Smurf, and yeah, I don't know. Oh, AEW Dark Order. I see. Right. Got you. Hey, good luck, have fun. Sorry. Let me think about this. I've got like an authenticator for HQ, which feels good enough, and or maybe the unsmiling actually goes on HQ here. I'm gonna keep this. Okay. That's not a great draw, but I don't know what we really expected. So we might go like unsmiling HQ. We'll go authenticator on R&D, and then either draw or take a credit. I think I'm going to draw first and then go this here and this here. It seemed really versatile and the money seemed fine. Yeah, it's no, I'm not going to do the YDL start Cold Lover. I'm gonna because I'm hoping that they run some of my ice and I get to draw off it. That's why. Um, it's insanely versatile is the thing. However, it's like a bit of a brain melter in terms of what the correct plays are. So like as long as you're prepared to do all of the triggers, because like prognostic is a like trigger which you've got to do. You've also then got to remember what's on the top of your deck. Which I'm very good at remembering the first card. I'm very bad at remembering the second card, and I should really take some kind of notes, and I often just don't. Okay, getting a little floody here. So now we're going to do the predictive into YDL into. I think we might just ice archives with this VSA. I'm not quite sure what we're going to throw out here. This was potentially an issue. Could be the Southern Commandment. Maybe it's just the shipment, and we bring that back. I think we bring that back. Um, yeah, I had a notebook with me. I think I worry a little bit about um I worry about the court the runner being able to or the court being able to see what I'm writing down, but also I don't think that's that like you can just put um what you call it just like okay, interesting draw, okay, also interesting. I think I'm gonna put naked Rashida out, which feels interesting, but we're gonna do it. You could just put like not a capital. What's the like first letter of a word? You know what I mean? Why can't I think of that? An abbreviation for the card. Like, oh, I know I'm gonna draw uh coalescence into an environmental testing. So you just write like a C and then an E. And yeah, Weeble. It's surprisingly easy to pop off an environmental testing in one run. Like you can often do it literally the next click. It's kind of nuts. You might get time issues if you start taking notes. Yeah, so you kind of that's why I think you don't want to do like full notation. You just want to now we draw like the piece of ice. That's a shame. That's what we wanted for Rashida. We're just going to try and score out this Beal next turn. That's like what we're going to do. So we'll go here, here, play this one. Gaining 2 because we don't want to overdraw. Now I wish I'd kept the shipment just in case they keep these tags, but I don't think they will. But yeah, like not writing down the full names of the cards. Just I think you just do like the first letter um, as a scribble. Also, what I do, which is really, really useful, and I find it really useful, and it's why I kind of am often better at remembering the cards when I'm playing in person, is I always pick up the cards, and I know this isn't a new thing, but I put them down like turned 90 degrees, so I know I've seen this card and this card, and then like it comes back to my mind of like I have seen these cards and I know what they are. Play on instinct and just accept all the mistakes you make and chalk it up to learning. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. In the course of the summer showdown, I ended turn 1 as Ari with 18 credits. Wow, having trashed something on the board as well. That's insane. Turn 1? How? I genuinely want to see that. Like, I assume it must have involved environmental testing. I guess maybe like a trick shot into like SMC to Muse to Coalescence or something. Yeah, holy hell! If it's in the VOD, then like 100% want to see that. Okay, I'm gonna wish. Okay, they're biobandsing it. They're biobandsing here. That's interesting. Are they floating these? They can't be floating these tags, right? I mean, we're going to res this on Smiling Serevna and give them 2 credits, I think. Because I want to draw cards. Also, if they take 2 damage, this is hilarious. We might kill them with a virus. No, they draw first, right? They get to draw off the biobands first. But we're going to let you gain 2. Yeah, Bayer is cool here. Oh, they're taking enough time. Oh, we've thrown out the shipment. This could be such a big deal. I think we. Do we want to draw cards here? Yeah, because we can like fast advance this freedom next turn very easily, and we're gonna draw another 2. Oh, nice! We drew an Oracle Think Tank. Um, this virus. They are. If we had a bit more money, I would res this because they don't want to lose their hand. So I am tempted to res this. We can like YDL into probably score a freedom next turn. Highly tempting. This costs us thinking. We would still be able to res this tattoo if they do happen to run here. If we had a bit more money. Yeah. I mean, we've got YDL next turn. It's whether, like, trashing one of these cards from hand. I don't think it's worth 3 credits. I'm gonna be gutted because I think their hand is actually quite good, bearing in mind that they took a tag. I think I probably should just. Okay, no, they did draw. Ah, it would have been so good. They see a sudden commandment. They're gonna oh, they probably will trash that because they've got shares for credits. We really want to hit them to hit this Oracle Think Tank. They saw another one. Did I have 2 in there? Surely not. Oh, apparently I did. Well, they could trash that again. And we'll purge. Well, throwing out the shipment early was a shame. But here, at least we fast advanced this freedom of information quite easily. Unfortunately, them trashing all the cards from our hand actually has really destroyed our YDL value. Yeah, I mean the planogram is like pretty ridiculous, but I want to score the freedom while it's hopefully a 2-1 or a 1-2. Which way round would it be? And when to go on? Yeah, please find me that VOD. I will. I'll pull it up on screen. I want to see it. I want to see it. I mean, they got good Chesma value there. And actually, how many Sudden Commandments have we got left? Just one in the deck. So we might need to use the Rashida to pull back the Sudden Commandments. Which is a shame because we also want to use it to pull back the shipment. The big question is, are we trashing this twinning? Because we probably should be. There's a lot that we want to do next turn. It's probably score freedom of information and put the spin on the table. I think that's most likely correct. Here we'll res. Okay. So now we've kind of got to think about money. Luckily, all of the rest of our ice is very cheap to res. Uh, Ping is good. So we could score the freedom and trash the twinning. I think scoring freedom is important and should go first. If we had kept this shipment right now, we would be able to get 5 points this turn. We would get this Beal to 5. Maybe not, actually. We'll score this. That will like put the fear in them in terms of the fact that they probably need to clear tags. No, the card in here is a Beal, which we also could have just scored out this turn. But I think it's actually kind of quite safe in there. Well, by safe, I don't really mean very safe, but if we trash twinning and score, they could T-tag. Yeah, exactly. I'm more interested in getting the like easy freedom of information rather than the like predictive into YDL because that's good. They appear to be floating tags here still, which is interesting. Okay, well we're gonna get our predictive into YDL from the looks of things, so that's kind of sick. Oh, we might do predictive YDL trash twinning. I guess there's a good shot that we res spin doctor and well we got a res spin doctor here, so that's fine. So we're definitely putting back this shipment. Luckily they don't know about it, and then it probably has to be one of these sudden commandments because otherwise we've only got 2 left in deck. We've drawn into a greasing. Unfortunately our agenda's in here. That's a bit of a shame. There's a good shot that we just actually this Oracle think tank is probably pretty good in HQ right now. Okay, we could. Oh, if we had the shipment. I can't believe we threw out the shipment. Um, are we going for like massive value here? Unsure. We could just play YDL, trash for twinning, and second ice the remote. I kind of want to push this remastered edition. We are kind of poor, so we could go for the like big money play. Screw it, let's do it. We do this. We do an Oppo, and then we'll probably do another Oppo. The only thing is, I kind of want to keep these in hand, but I guess we just chuck them in the bin for now. There is a chance that we double advance the Beal. Oh, we were meant to trash for twinning. We kind of forgot to do that. So now we're just going to try and win before it's relevant. Which I think we can go like double advance the Beal, install a ping. Unless we happen to draw a Hollow Man next turn. That would be the best. They're now also quite poor. If we draw Hollow Man, it's perfect. We didn't. I think we might. So we either go like double advance, install the ping. I think we can do that with them on 2 credits. It's weird because of Hermes, but they are quite poor. And I want this to be a big deal. I think YouTube ate the last link. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm going to save this link for a minute. I mean, lose is a strong word here. I think I would rather push the 3 points than worry about Hermes twinning. If they're going in anywhere here, they're probably taking a tag to do so. I mean, there's the Hermes. Yeah, see? So now, I mean, we drew you 1 turn too late, didn't we? So we could put Hollow Man in the remote. We could put Hollow Man in the remote. It's like, why are we doing that? Why aren't we just scoring out? Is the big question. I think we just score out. Or we go like Hollow Man and then we put Ice Ice. I think that's possibly okay. I have forgotten that there are 2 agendas in archives. Night Cactus Lab. So now we can score the Beal, the big Beal, with clicks left to do all sorts. And they need to show like a pretty significant way of getting in here. I guess Boomerang into Inside Job would do it. We disappointingly can't flip this Tattoo Bowler because we've put our ice everywhere. Well, there's the Boomerang. It's here. They're going to take a tag. They're going to take a lot of tags. They're going to take a lot of tags. Okay, well, they're going to clear 1 tag. So we might not res then, because if we res, they clear the tag. And they're going to take 2 here. We're going to res the Hollow Man, because I think we can fast advance out this remastered edition using the Greasing the Palm next turn. So I'm actually not going to res this. We're going to res the Hollow Man. And then they end up with 2 tags. I think, do we draw here? Unsure. Because we could draw for this shipment, but it's like a 1. Yeah, 4-2, but that's fine. We've got Greasing into Hollow Man, so we can do we can fast advance it. I mean, we were a bit greedy with this Beal, not gonna lie, but they'll bounce the Beal, 100%. We should have probably scored that out. We then could have just fast advanced out for the win, but I was a bit worried about them like caning R&D. I think I wanna gain 2 here because I wasn't gonna end up with a very big hand size. Are they not gonna bounce this? If they don't bounce this Beal, that's insane. I mean, we if we draw into shipment and they don't bounce the Beal, do we just win? Like immediately? Oh, okay, they bounced it. Fine, fine. Probably wise. Right, let's try and draw a shipment because then we can do this really cheaply. No, thank you. Okay, so the other option is we trash the twinning, which is definitely a good option. But we do have the ability. We could just trash the twinning. Maybe that's correct here. And then we just like install the remastered and we put another piece of ice here. Let's do that. Let's get rid of this because that's going to be an issue. Um, we'll put this in server 2. We'll put the ping on R&D. Like again, we should probably just be scoring out here. Greasing the Beal, trash twinning advance. The thing is, I'd rather score the remastered at this point. Okay, so yeah, I kind of figured that they'd probably look at clearing these tags, and that now gives us the turn to fast advance and remastered, which puts us in a pretty good position. We'll advance this, we'll score it. We have a click left to repair whatever they do. They move this one. So now, what don't they have the ability to get through? I think we put the VSA outside the ping. Actually, Authenticator is probably quite good into whatever. I guess they're going to be able to get through it with a Chesva. I'm going to put the Authenticator there. I think it's more likely to tax them. We can still res this. We can still res this. Kind of nuts that we can still res all of our, like, basically all of our ice. Well, not quite all of it, but at least 2 pieces of it if we need to. Okay, Shibboleth. It's not a threat anymore, so Authenticator costs. Oh, it costs a lot. It costs 6. It actually taxes out their Shesvas. Like, it's more expensive to get through this. It even costs 3 to get through the VSAs. That's very funny. We will. They'll have 1 click left, but we will. Oh, we're thinking about this. Okay, that also makes sense. I was going to jam something in this remote anyway next turn. I think we probably res the ping. They're going to have to pay 2 to trash this. They're then going to be pretty poor. We might well draw into an Oppo research, which seems good enough. They could just bounce it. I think the correct thing is to bounce because we can't actually deal with this. And they're actually going to give us money by going through this Tattoo Bowler, which is really nice of them. Yes, please. we'll swap it with virtual service agent. Don't mind if I do. So this puts them down to nothing if they clear the tag, and if they don't, I was going to say we can fast advance out. But here, ooh, that could be mean. Let's look for an Oppo research because that would be very good for us. We found one. So we either jam. I think we might put the Amaze in the remote. No, we're going to put the remastered in the remote, and then next turn, if because we can score it out with this remastered. So we're going to do this and hit them with the Oppo, gaining 2, and we're not going to pay 5. We don't need to pay 5. Hey, Zinderin, how you doing? Uh, Good to see you. We get a win. I think this one was going that way either way. GG. Our opposition Oppo conceded after the Oppo, which is kind of fitting. Um, but yeah, that felt fun. Um, let's go again. Thing I'm quite liking about this deck is that it feels quite fun. It kind of feels quite fun, I think, from both sides because it's quite sort of quick and hectic. And although it's R plus, it's here we go, gonna get oh, gonna get clowned on by Sheffield number 2. Syndering getting excited for Worlds. Not long now, eh? Steve. Uh-oh. I mean, we've got an authenticator for HQ. Maybe good enough. Swords is already 3 points deep. I would expect nothing less. So the big question here is, do we respect turn 1 doof? Because we could keep this, install the Rashida behind an authenticator, and either play the YDL first click. They can't doof us down more than this authenticator is going to do. Like I'm tempted to not respect turn 1 doof. How bad a plan is that? Do you have a preferred corp playstyle like Glacier? I think one of my favorite styles. Oh, London. I've seen that you are nice, Obs. Um, London. I've seen you playing Better Citizen Program R plus. You're a disgusting human being, but in the best kind of way. Um, Yes, but not in this deck would be the answer. I'm gonna keep this, and if we draw into another piece of ice, then I might have a slightly different turn. I am very tempted to not respect turn 1 doof. Okay, well that's even better, isn't it? So here we can go. We need to put the ping on HQ. Then we can go authenticate in a new remote with a Rashida behind it. Hello, cursor. Um, how are you doing? I've already talked about our game and how bad I am at maths, apparently. So if you want to come and rub that in, then you're more than welcome to. But well played, you did incredible. I think you came like third, right? Um, and are they the wrong way around? Potentially, Meteor. You might be right there. This is technically an ETR. Authenticator is an ETR. Like, unless they want to take a tag, and I don't like That's as good to me. My BCP playlist title is "Stop Hitting Yourself." Yeah, I think I watched a game of it, and it's like free BCP and then free copies of Self Growth Program, right? And you just keep putting the the programs back, the icebreakers back. BCP, if you can ever score a BCP out as R plus, like it's the grossest thing you can do early. Okay, we get a Rashida. Hey David, I'm putting together a pair of standard decks for someone to play against. Thinking Hermes, Tau, Jazz, and a built to blast opinions. Hermes Tau is potentially suspect there because it's like it's possibly harder to play than you might be looking for. I think we just jam the headline, right? So do we play another YDL and then jam the headline? This YDL is only worth 4, but I think that's okay. Um, yeah, I'm unsure if Hermes Tau, like, is this for someone? This is for someone like newish to the game, or is this for people who are like very familiar with everything? Um, because the like it's not 100, like a tricky one in terms of being like slightly counterintuitive. Oh, you're the pilot. Okay, fine. Uh, Source lost a diversion to installing this pan weave, so that's quite funny. It's so strange what someone played YDL without drawing 15 cards in the turn first. Yeah. Uh, did they trash something? That's interesting. I might double advance an Oppo here. How bad is that for me? Like, they then might go and steal this tomorrow's headline, but if they do, then they're going to end up very tagged. If I had a Hollow Man, I'd install a Hollow Man and play a YDL. This is like quite an aggressive line. Um, yeah, it's how these decks are. Wait, I've missed something here. Third in Swiss and third after the cut. Lost to source. Wow, there we go. I'll see if I can pull it back for you. I think your kit went undefeated, right? Did I think I read that correctly? And your kit also, like, I had no chance against your kit. Like, I should have conceded that game. I think when after the chance I had, and we both knew this, the chance I had was that you died on hitting that Sai Sentan, and I didn't manage to do that. Yeah, the like aggressive line worked. So now we can advance, score, give a tag. We're gonna gain 2 here because we're gonna draw a ton of cards here, and then, well, do I remove this tag for them? Because I'm quite tempted to jam for remastered. I'd have loved to be able to put the Tattoo Bowler there as well. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, sure. I want them to feel welcome in my playgroup. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Built to Blast is like a pretty is a like that's quite a fun deck. Oh, we've got a Tremolo. It's gonna cost. Oh, that's not the thing that they need to get through here, so that's even better. I mean, they can get through here if they want. Would you like to take a tag? Here, I think I want to draw cards. I've got like plenty of money. Ooh, the Amaze would have been good. clears the tag. Not too surprising. But this feels pretty nice. Here we can go like tattoo into amaze into for Beal. There we go. Not Asmari or Fool, yeah. I mean, you could do like different Asmari lists, but I oh, it's gonna be a ping meteor, but oh, if this was a ping, well then they could get through it with a tremolo. It would have technically cost them more money. Um, but I'm fine with this. I kind of want to be able to do stuff like potentially draw cards if they run HQ, which they are doing here. Do I let them through? So here, what are they going to get back is the big question. They're probably just going to get back like gamble or gamble. They're probably going to steal an agenda here. So I think I res a ping. If I draw two, I'm going to like massively overdraw next turn. So maybe just the money is fine. I think I need to res it because I need to cost them the click to deal with it. Uh, this costs them three to break, right? Oh no, two. Okay, fine. Yeah, because they've got one down. They're gonna get a credit from Panweave. I'm gonna lose a credit. They're gonna get a gamble back, I suppose. Maybe a doof. Not a doof. Sorry, maybe a dirty laundry. Gamble makes sense. Peter suggesting outfit. Outfit's pretty interesting as a like it's a good example of what Wayland can do. Like I'm gonna go fast and I'm just gonna jam out behind some ice. I had a spicy idea for outfit when I was in bed last night. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was like playing. Okay, so the big question is, can we cook this Beal? Can we get this to a big Beal? Because if so, then we just win the game. Like probably next turn. Probably asking a bit too much. So I'm just gonna score it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Oh, I think my idea was I haven't tried. I'm probably gonna get doofed here. That could be a problem. Or I haven't retried playing. What's it called? Like Sophie's Choice BTL. Yeah, there we go. I do get doofed. That's okay. I actually lose like 6 credits here. This is pretty good. Source. This is like a really good run now. Like Paragon value, Panweave value. I need to get a VSA here, like stat basically. So that it taxes the banker. So we might still have enough money to fast advance out next turn. I can't remember the maths, quite the maths. Maybe not because if this drains 6. It's like quite a lot. There's now 2 deuce in the bin, which is like that's what's scary. So okay, we didn't draw a greasing. We didn't draw a greasing. So we can put a ping on HQ. I think we draw. We put a ping on HQ or a VSA if we happen to draw one, and then we just put a Beal on top of this Amaze Amusements. We'll put this here. We're going to put this here, and then we'll see what happens. Like, if they run, we're going to res this ping, drawing cards so that we don't take the money. Uh, would it be worth for them to go back? Hard to say. But it could be quite funny if we just get to score this field as well. Although we then have no, I guess we've got a load of free ones that we can do it. If they do forget Meteor, then no, we're not. Well, we are going to go to 0, but that's okay. Okay, they've got their Cat's Cradle, which means that our VSAs are slightly worse, but still cost them 2 credits to get through, which is funny. They might be going for the remote here. Okay, this is not last click. I think we do res. They probably get back 2 doofs. And I think that's fine. We'll gain 2 here. We'll be down at 4, but we can score this Beal. Cost them 4 credits to get in here. That's quite funny. Although it will eventually cost them 0 credits to get in here. So, like at that point, the pings are going to feel much, much worse. At that point, we probably need to get an unsmiling Serevna on HQ. And it's going to be, and it can't, well, it probably can't be the outside ice. Hopefully we win before the tremolo gets down to costing nothing. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. Unsurprisingly, Source gets back the doofs, clears the tag, so now we can get to 6 points. Ooh, the Oppo's interesting. The Oppo is interesting. So if we Oppo and give them 4 tags, we'll have 1 credit, which is just enough to res this Amaze Amusements if they happen to run here. We then don't care really about the doof, and we potentially score out this freedom of information next turn. I actually think Oppo is correct here. What did they trash? Or steal? They must have trashed or steal something for me to be able to play this. But it looks like I can play it. Oh, they trashed a sudden commandment. Okay. So if I'm correct, I go credit, credit, thinking. So I go credit, credit. The thing is, I want to have 1 credit left to res this Amaze Amusement. So I think if I go credit, credit, play the Oppo, I'll have 1 credit left. Because I need 5 credits to play a big Oppo out of R+. And this I'll be at 6. I think my maths is right here. I gain 2, I pay 5. Now their doof is like meaningless, or at least this turn, because like they doof us for 1. And yeah, we also want to be on 1. We want to remain on 1 so that if they run this remote, we res the Amaze Amusements. I also think if we draw into exactly the shipment, okay, Waking Plant. Okay, Tremolo is now just 1 to get through both of these. They are keeping the tags. We might be able to play this predictive next turn. We're gonna res the Amaze because Right, I just want you to not steal the freedom source. Please don't steal freedom. We're going to res the amaze because we're going to lose the credit anyway, and it actually stops them getting one more credit. So we'll res this here. I don't think these Steve decks are on a single copy of Pinhole because it's just not the slots for it. Right, don't get the freedom because that is a free score next turn. It's like completely free. We can like score the freedom, play the predictive. A little bit risky. I think I'd rather you had the gamble. What have I hit? They hit the ping. Okay, we get a completely free freedom. Seems good. Are they going R&D here? They might do. So we could win this turn. We score the freedom. We play the predictive planogram drawing into the shipment, and we play the shipment on the Beal. Game over. The shipment's still in the deck, right? Yeah. Maybe we. I don't really want to be on a second copy of shipment. It's like pretty rare that we get people to float a lot of tags. Okay. Well, Source is going to be taking some more tags here, so that's pretty good. He has to go through this. I think he's just going full tag me now, so our freedoms look incredible. Let's see if he breaks this. It gives us. Yeah, I guess you kind of might as well. Um, do we want to draw? No, I think we want to gain two. Unfortunately, I don't want to give him like the doof money, but I guess like drawing for the other freedom was probably correct. Drawing was probably correct. I just feel like I'm gonna draw free with this predictive anyway. 7 tags seems good. Okay. Let's see if we can just find the other freedom. We did not, and we did not find the shipment either, which is a shame. So we'll score this. And then there is okay, there is a chance that actually playing sudden there was if we so potentially the play would have been to install the remastered edition and then play the sudden commandment in case we drew into the shipment. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking of installing the Mav to duck the doof. The other option is that I install the VSA to duck the doof. Because this will cost me 1, 2 credits here. Then I res it. Or I do the ping to draw more. I think the ping, I want the like guaranteed draw, right? Is there no like doof is worse. Yeah, we might have just drawn into the other FOI. We could like no, we don't quite have enough money to do this player greasing. If we drew like greasing shipment, so it's either put the VSA on HQ or it's put the ping on HQ. The ping is like kind of guaranteed draw. You know what I'm saying? The VSA is more taxing. I think just we'll go VSA on HQ. Like, unfortunately, this wake implant is a problem. I think we need to put the ping on R&D. Maybe ping on HQ was correct for that reason. I just think if we put ping on R&D, we won't necessarily have any money when they go R&D though. Okay, we have yeah, sneak door comes down, unsurprising. So they're going to charge up their wake pretty efficiently here, which is a problem. Is a problem. If they steal the remastered, then we're probably in trouble. You can have a bravado. We'll purge. Unfortunately, that's a trashable, which means the remastered in HQ is slightly likelier. Oh, we can still resist VSA, which is lucky. There's a Tatubola. Now, source, yeah, I was going to say should clear out R&D here, or at least check the top. Hopefully, hits a think tank, and we get to draw 2 cards. No, it's for freedom. It was free down there. We weren't going to draw into it. Oh, we wanted that. Oh, we wanted that quite a lot. Okay. So, potential winning lines is installed or remastered, and then sudden, hoping that we draw into exactly the shipment. Seems risky. I think we can draw once. Okay. Playing that seems pointless. Because they can just take our money away again. So it's where we put the ping is like the really important thing here. We have to be able to still res it. Thinking. We have to be able to still res it. Um, why is YDL pointless? Yeah, maybe it's not. So what I'm thinking is if we played a YDL, we'll be at 6 credits, and then we. So my thought is if we played a YDL, we'll be at 6 credits because it will be 4+2, and then we put like the ping either on archives or R&D. Like ideally, I want it on R&D so I can draw when they're running R&D. But then they just doofus and we can't res the ping. So I'd actually rather not have the credits to make it worth them doofing us. Does that make sense? Because I think if we played a YDL, then they just definitely doof us, and then res, we can't res the ping either way. The other thing, no, we've got to be able to do this like clickless draw. We could put it on HQ. We could trash the other 2 pings and put it on HQ. I am gonna put it on R&D and take 1 credit. I'm unsure about this. I think they should do this. because they could go like Doof, then Sneak Door, then run R&DC 2, and just if they just keep locking the top. Okay, they're going here first. Obviously, they could just snipe the remastered. It's a 1 in 5. Good shout. Here we dropped 2 credits. They have one Doof already, right? Career Fair is wild, but they know that we're like 2. I give him a Career Fair surely. Ah, I really wanted to draw that other freedom. Maybe the freedoms are the sickest thing here. Okay, what were we gonna draw into? Oh, we were gonna draw into the shipment next turn. Wow, next turn we could have chanced it if we had just installed the remastered. So we would have mandatoried the Rashida, and then if we'd have just like gone heart of the cards and gone install remastered, play sudden commandment, then we win. Maybe we could. The problem here is like deck slots because I'd quite like to play a second copy of Shipment. Um, it obviously would have been really good here, and I have found that quite a few people like you can force people to go fast enough. Oh, I really want to play some silly Eterna with Torrent. You can force people to go fast enough that they end up having to take the tags, which is pretty good. Interestingly, I haven't played a single sudden into greasing. And maybe like I'm doing that all the time with the 44 card version of this deck. Maybe that's just better. Also, we maybe should be on the 2-1 instead of Oracle Think Tank. As good as like Oracle Think Tank is in R plus. The reason I prefer ping archives is Sneak HQ 3 times is just going to hit remastered. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Oh, I do want to see that environmental testing turn 1. Wait a second. Let me pull that up. Let me find a link. Let me find a link. I think I saved it here. Yeah, no, Wentagon, I actually need to see it. If you actually end up on 18 credits, uh, on. So is this for cut or this is like late in? Oh, is this the first? This is the first one, right? The Summer Showdown. That's why I uh didn't really notice it. Is this okay, like screen wise? Yeah, I think so. So this is Wentagon versus off 15-15. Wentagon playing 46 card Arissana. Off 15 is playing R plus and has installed 3 assets. Okay, we've got click 1 was install environmental testing. Click 2 was install a symbol chip. Click 3 is going to be trick shot. So here, I guess we're going SMC into something. Let's find out. So we get Muse into a coalescence. Okay, so that's essentially just using the trick shot money. Fine. Then we get our extra 2 credits for trick shot. Uh, Trashed a warm reception with those credits as well. So you've also trashed something, like you said. You make a fresh run somewhere else. Getting the coalescence back out. 17 credits. Oh, and then you. Oh my gosh! Last click is spec work as well. That is an insane turn one. Off 15-15 is so nice as well. You can't do that to him. That's nuts. Quarterfinals of Summer Showdown. What a turn. That is what a turn. Um yeah, that's that's what you can do with environmental testing. So that popped off on turn three and then still having the like spec work to do it turn four is like kind of insane. I think you actually well, it depends on what you have in your deck. I think you might have missed a tiny bit of value here. No, maybe not. No, I guess not. I was gonna say like maybe you should have like simul chipped for the muse to get the coalescence back. But that's only good if you like. I guess that's good if you've got like a second spec work. You can start your next turn with a spec work as well. But then you'll be 2 credits less. That is Wentcom. That is a work of art as a turn one. Right, we'll do one more. We'll do at least one more game. Oh, I better put dun, 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 this one here. Uh, who else is going to Worlds by the way? Who's excited about Worlds? I'm obviously unfortunately not going to Worlds, but I will certainly be. I'll certainly be having the stream on. I'll probably be like really impossible to speak to in real life for most of the weekend because I'll have the stream on in like my ears, um, in the background. Because what is it? 2 weeks away now? It must. It's like 2 weeks, right? I think the 18th, 19th, 20th. Does that sound correct? Sounds about right. Zero of Maxima. I am unsurprised. And yeah, would hope that you would be there. Wentcom, that deck had one ace up, so yeah, leaving the Muse was ever so slightly better. Yeah, I guess it's technically only one credit better because you're spending two and you have a Muse there, but you do also then potentially have like and something else to like simul chip if you need to, or spec work if you're on other spec work. But it's like I think at that point in the game, just having like 18 credits going into turn two is about as good a start as you could hope for. That's very funny. I enjoyed that. Like to have trick shots a very silly card to allow you to do all that. Because obviously you couldn't do that with anything else. Not even an overclock. You and you didn't just trash one thing. You trashed two things. You trashed 4 credits worth of stuff. I think because I think you trashed 2 warm receptions. Um, so I think you're even better off than you thought. You're like up. So you're 18 plus 4 minus 5. You're like gained 17 credits. Ah, Toron's coming in. I I was very looking to play again. So medium silly. Toro know how something fun. Let's see what we've got. We've got a Hoshiko. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not just standard Hoshiko. You do. I think we mulligan this. Doesn't seem like. Okay, we could try and jam here. Like very tempting. Okay, well, jamming the Rashida is probably better. Leaving two agendas in HQ is a bit risky. Um, I could get blown out by turn one diversion of funds here. I got blown out by turn one diversion of funds the other day. What do we got? Ah, nabs the freedom of information. We see a Keiko. At least we get our Rashida. Um, I think we can. So we either play an Oppo here, or we like go YDL into remastered Hollow. I think that's like okay. Because like you might be a bit hesitant of running this because it looks like it could be an amazing amusement, whether you know that's in the deck or not. Okay, we got Banard. That's cool. We're on virtual service agents, so we don't care. We've drawn a Beal, which is good for next turn. We'll score this, and then we either. I think we want to protect this Hollow Man, so we'll go like authenticator into ping. We can res both of these, so that's fine. Night Peter, very nice to have you join the chat. Toron sees an Oppo, knows it's there. We might. No, thank you. Okay, well, we didn't want to draw the freedom of information here. But here, I think we can stick this in server one and take a credit. And then next turn, there's a chance that we just score out this big Beal. If we get the opportunity to. Obviously, if they pressure us, we're not going to have the money to. The ice costs 4 credits to res. We'll get 2 credits back. We'll put us on 4 credits, which is not enough. We would love it if this was a VSA instead of an authenticator in this case. Oh, well, we don't care about VSAs anymore. They've got bustle. Will res. Unsurprisingly, they let that fire. We'll res the ping. We'll gain the money because we definitely need it here. If we had a YDL in hand, then we might have drawn. Okay. We can't afford. No. Okay. VSA is less good now. Normally, I really like VSA is brilliant into Bankar a lot of the time, but not quite so good now. We might play this Sudden Commandment to look for money, but it's a tiny bit risky. We could overinstall the Spin Doctor to look for money. I think that's possibly fine. Then that gets a card out of our hand to draw 2 cards. Maybe playing. Let's do this first. Okay. I think we can do this for even more. And then we can even jam this in the server. Nice. Now, if they run it, it's not good for them. Hello, droids. The greasing's going well. I think we're up one game, down one game. But what I quite like about this deck is it feels fun, not totally unfair. And a mimic. Um, but really puts the pressure on. Move Hollow Man, no. So here, oh, we've even got the like fast advance line next turn. There's a tiny chance, but we fast advance out this tomorrow's headline this turn. But I think that's too greedy. Yeah, so let's just do the big deal as is sensible. And we can discard the VSA. Is Checkers Side Madness in this deck? It probably doesn't quite work in this particular deck. I think I'd rather be on Behold. But if we did a version of this which was in Prav, then I could see it. We've got a good shot of winning turn 7 here. Like a very good shot. In fact, they have to hit the 1 in 5 here, and they're gonna end up tagged if they do. Uh, a 2 in 5, 2 oppos, and we're gonna steal it just like that. Beautifully. Just a quick one. Where's the dude? Yeah, I mean, I yeah, I think I prefer Behold, but I don't think. Yeah, I love just jamming them for a big one. Oh, okay. Depressingly, thank you, thank you. So I think we're gonna do one. We're gonna do one game with the 44 card version because the 49 card version does have this ability to score out in the server more, but we haven't played a single sudden commandment into greasing the palm tonight at all. Um, and that's the main thing that this deck does, and usually the way that it scores at least one, sometimes two of its agendas. Uh, and I feel bad that we're not really showing that off. Um, was shuffling back a YDL with spin worth it instead of over installing? I don't think it was yet because I think I wanted my plan was to shuffle back the spin itself because I wanted to draw back into it later. Like because we've got combo pieces in the deck like sudden commandment and greasing the palm, then it's really important to be able to shuffle them back in. So I think in this particular deck, I don't ever want to use a spin on just value unless I have like a really bad money start, for instance. Um, Miss for deck building. This is sorry, Radish. So basically, this is a deck which I've been like kind of jamming for a week or so. It's really really fun. This was my first version of it, which is I'm gonna do a game with this version, which is 44 cards, and it just runs off a combo of playing Sudden Commandments into Greasing the Palm to kind of biotic out agendas. We can once we're at Fret, which we get to very quickly, we fast advance out 3/2s without tags. We can fast advance out 4/2s with tags, and obviously Greasing the Palm we can fast advance with tags anyway. We've got a shipment as well, and a copy of Freedom of Information, which is like all our sort of tag punishment. And it gets even better if we can score a remastered early, which like will often see us jamming a remastered on a Hollow Man behind a piece of ice. But there's also a chance that this should be like two remasters, two freedoms, because the freedoms are like busted good if we draw them at the right time. Um, and they make like doing the big beals, the big oppos even very worth it. But like scoring a remastered early is uh, opens up a lot of doors. Especially it opens up some fast advance 5 free plans, as in like a big deal. You can sudden commandment greasing the palm um on a Hollow Man with a remastered edition, and even if they don't have a tag, you can score 3 points. Um, so it's kind of a little bit nutty, and like all of our tagging stuff is like quite small, and it just gives like 1 or 2 tags here, but we're just gonna go so fast that the idea of clearing tags really it slows down the runner enough that we can jam more stuff out. Oh, and the other thing I mentioned earlier was the tattoo bowlers, which I really like because they turn back face down, and face down ice is the scariest ice when you're playing as R plus. So it kind of like works out, right? Like you're always pretty happy to know what all the ice is in R plus, and it's much worse when it's face down. Well, 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 if it isn't not Yeti in the chat. How you doing, Ewan? Were you out playing Netrunner tonight after a busy weekend? I haven't watched your recap yet because I haven't had time. But I am sure I will do that. Ah, we've got Lucille. Hey, hey. Um, Playing some Arissana. I think most likely going to be trying to do some flippy shit against us. This is almost a keep. Like a like genuinely tempted to keep this because Tattoo Bowler is quite good against Arissana. We've got an early Rashida. Scoring out these remasters is going to be like close to impossible. I'm going to keep this. It might be a risk. Hey, I didn't even notice you go live. Oh, maybe notifications aren't working. I thought, okay, well, that's how we might be able to score out this remastered edition. We're going to start with like a little bit of tempo, looking for a second piece of ice, which we find. We're going to completely ignore the fact that we've got 3 agendas in hand. It's not going to worry us in the slightest. Taking it easy until post worlds, then we grind for Nats. Very good. Um, yeah, Nats is going to be great. Meteor, freedom of information always reads the card that is better, the worse your opponent is. Kind of, but you can like as long as you play your deck around the fact that you're gonna force what? Um, I can see. Do we show the agendas in hand? I think we've fought too long here, but I don't want them to come in. I don't want them to know that we've got like a ton of them. I'm gonna show you a bill. So now you get a click back and you draw a card. God, what does this do? Are we gonna get Bernard? We've got a spin out. Skimming, yeah, yeah. Nothing beats trying to pull a quick one on the streamer with their own deck list. Yeah, but wow, I mean, this is not flippy shit. The problem, okay, fine, they found a bit. I was like, the problem is here. If Lucy finds the remastered edition, then we're in a lot of problems. We're in like big problems because then, like, we probably just let lose turn 2. But yeah, I am okay. We also get a trick shot. So maybe we should have just shown her the top two. Well, then she wouldn't have played this trick shot, so that's okay. We're gonna res his tattoo. We're gonna hope that she slap vandals it. She does. I mean, we're gonna lose the Rashida. That's a shame, but at least we have the ice to switch it with, which is good. Like maybe we draw an Oppo here. Do we have enough money to push the remastered? No, we need 8, right? Don't you always reveal with spin on board? Yeah, maybe. I'll reveal R&D. Can we shuffle though? Because we've got nothing in archives. I'm not totally sure of the rules nowadays if we can shuffle or not. I guess shuffle up to 2 cards from archives is like 0 is up to, right? Oh, oh, okay. Well, that's fun. So here, the question is, do we jam the Hollow Man in the server and play the Oppo? Or do we jam the remastered in the server and jam the Oppo? I think we put the Hollow Man in the server and play the Oppo. Shuffling R&D is changing game state. Yeah, but then like if we show Lucy the top three, like also we got a ton of agendas, right? So if we show her the top three and there's an agenda there, and then she plays a trick shot, do we burn a spin doctor just to shuffle away? Because I would play that trick shot anyway. I think. Um, so I'm not 100% sure. But then again, like you should probably listen to Augustus, not me. Um, we have we've worked out that he is the better player. Okay, Lucy hasn't cleared the tags yet. I think we're going to get to fast advance at this remastered. That's pretty hype. So here we'll res a ping. I think we gave enough time to. Do we want to draw here? We might want to draw. Let's draw. Cool. Okay. Well, if spinner's back on, might as well. Yeah. Uh, there. If she trashes the Hollow Man, then she's definitely not clearing tags, and that means we get to shipment out our remastered edition, and that puts us in a really good spot. You think draw there is wild? Why? I want to draw into more stuff. I also want to protect the remastered in. Oh, piss off. Okay. Well, maybe we just go for a big deal here. I really wanted the remastered. I think I'm going to shuffle. I think I'm going to use the spin here because I want to draw a remastered off the top. And I know that there's not one there. And we have good stuff to put back now. And it might be an Oppo. We've got a Rashida, so we don't really need the Rashida. So we can go like Hollow Man, Oppo, start. Okay, so we either score a big deal or we go for like big value turn next turn. I've just used up a spin doctor, so like I think I can draw into a remastered. I'm gonna do like Heart of the Cards and just draw into the remastered and believe it can happen. So we're going to put Rashida here. Tempted to overwrite the ping, but I'm not going to do it yet. We put this here, and then we're going to respect trick shot because it's how we lose right now. Technically, we can lose by like Lucy just running HQ, but she has no money, so she's not clearing that many tags at least. Maybe she clears one, and then we could still score remastered, which is good enough for me. Or like if we don't draw a remaster this turn, then we big bill. Wait, we have double tattoo. Never mind. We win. Yeah, we have money for days. I mean, we have just put all the tattoos out, which is a problem. But oh, throwing out the DJ kind of makes sense. Right, get a remastered. So worth it. So worth it. So here we can go here. Here. We potentially could have played the uh the YDL first and should have, but we didn't. So now we'll put the Rashida in to draw back into stuff next turn. We also now have an ice to swap with the tattoos. Good chance that Lucy starts clearing. Just taking credits. We can fast advance if we draw into a greasing here. Or we can actually fast advance a big bill. We did not draw into a greasing. Rude. Do we want to play for like loads of money? Or do we just assume that we're going to draw a greasing? We're playing the 44 card version, and I'm meant to be showing off the whole like you can do nonsense with greasing. Lucille's on compile, which I love. We did not draw the greasing, so it's probably just YDL here. We will not do that, and then we can just go Hollow Man. And do we want to put another piece of ice out? I was told there'd be greasings. Damn right. Like this entire stream is named after the fact that I don't know if we've played a single sodding greasing so far. Which is pretty bad considering how much this deck. That's literally what it does. Okay, we can fast advance a Beal next turn with the Hollow Man. What do we ditch here? Do we think Lucille is on clock? This looks too much spice like to be on clock. Might just rip the Beal here. Also, could be going for a deep dive. Oh, first, yeah, obviously. And I think we're going deep dive here. We are. Wow, that's spicy Esperado. Sure. We'll put the ping there. No chance. You don't win here. Rip. Oh, I've made it even. You will. You will. There are 8 in 21, I think. I mean, a quick game's a good game, right? I can't believe we didn't play a single greasing all night. Um, like, I don't know what's going on. It's so bizarre. Yeah, there we go. Actually, only saw one. That's wild. Saw a single Oracle think tank. Hilarious, but it's enough. Um, but it's enough. We still didn't draw greasing. So absolutely rip me. The night's young, but I'm not, and I might need to get to bed. Yeah, I think that's it. Um, that was fun. I can't believe I didn't do sudden greasing the entire night. That's um, that's interesting. Very interesting. Uh, Zero permanent board state. Arissana continues to win games it shouldn't. Yeah, I can imagine that. I swear any card with more than three influence hides first few times you play it. Yeah, but this isn't the first few times I've played it. Game of Droids. Um, I have played this deck like I've given it a good few test games. Uh, I figured it. So Lucille's just pointing out this is like her May. It like plays only Mayfly and I think Slap Vandal as breakers. I figured it might be. When I saw the compile, also kinda makes sense with skimming. Um, did skimming do anything? Is a good question. I mean, it technically was clickless because I don't quite know how skimming works, even though I have played it in a deck. It meant that she knew she had to run R&D. Meant that she knew she could run HQ and Blag and Agenda. I probably should have just shown the top of R&D. Um, but yeah, I would imagine that the bearing in mind that this is so Lucy was like only playing mayflies and stuff like that. So she probably only wants to make runs when it's likely that she's gonna steal agendas. So actually, the skimming kind of makes sense in that exact like version because it's probably playing like burners or maybe even like probably not legworks, but what's the jailbreaks or something along those lines. Um, so you like play the skimming, and then if they show a load of agendas in HQ, you go and try and fish them out with a burner. But anyway, you know, I'm not as totally down on skimming as other people. I think it has a place in very certain types of decks. I quite liked it as a one-off in Mercury myself, um, especially in Divide and Conquer Mercury, um, because wherever they show you agendas, you can probably go and get it. Right. I think that might be me done for tonight. Um, I hope you all have a good week. Is there what's going on? Well, there's Worlds in like 2 weeks. So I guess there's probably not a huge amount going on next, like this coming week. But if you're out and about playing Netrunner somewhere, I was gonna see if there's anything. Oh, I can't really look on Cobra. I wanted to look on Always Be Running, but I haven't still got it open. So if you're out and about playing Netrunner somewhere, then have a good time, and I'll see you next week. Thanks everyone for joining in. If you enjoyed tonight, uh, why not hit the like and subscribe button? Because I never say it. You've probably all logged off by now anyway. But yeah, do that because it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Thanks everyone. I